Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been about a month again, but I finally had a chance to sit down and do a video. It's very similar to the purple look that I did a few months back, but this one it does have like more pinks and stuff inside of it, so it's a little different. So it was a requested look, and I just had the time today to film. So this is actually a tutorial, not a chit chat like I've been doing. So hopefully you guys like this video, and if you want to see how I got this look, please keep watching. Okay, so I'm starting off as usual with already my brows done and just a little paint pot on my lid. I'm going to be using the Morphe 39S palette today. I don't think I've ever used this one on camera because I really don't wear these kind of colors on a daily basis, but I did buy it a while ago and it's just beautiful. I just don't wear these colors all the time. But I'm going to be doing a purple look today, so this has some amazingly beautiful purples in here. So we're going to use this, and I'm going to start off with a nice fluffy brush. I'm going to use the Morphe M511, and I'm going to dip into this color. So there's like a little sheet here that has the colors. Let me put it on there. It's called Decadent AF. So normally I don't start out with that deep of a transition color, but because we're going to be using like purples and stuff, I want this transition to color to be pretty much darker than I normally would. And I'm basically just going all in my crease, swirling it around and bringing it all the way out to where the end of my brow is. So I stopped my camera really quick because my kids were being so loud and I forgot to hit record again. So after that first shade, I just went in with this color right here. It's like a berry color. Looks like a magenta, and it's actually called Berry Good. So I just kind of went in there into the crease with that and winged it out. So you go from like a brownish kind of color into that color. Okay, so that's all I've done. Go back with that first color and just kind of soften those edges. And again, it's kind of like flared out. And don't worry about it being messy because we're gonna like cut our crease to add shimmer on the lid. Now I'm gonna take a much smaller brush to get really deep in the crease. And I'm going to take this brush here. It's really small. And this is the Morphe M506, and I'm going to take this purple right here, and this purple is called Plums Up. So this one's going to be more like definition for the crease, and we're just going to like define that crease a lot more and just keep intensifying it to however dark you want it. Go back with that brush that you used before with that like berry shade on it and just kind of blend it out. So it kind of creates like a little swoop. Okay, I'm going to take the same brush. It's still that small little brush, but I'm going to dip it into this. It's like a dark purple. It has a little shimmer, but you don't really see the shimmer on this one, so it's okay. It's just, I just want to intensify the crease just a little bit more, because we're going to cut the crease, so you're going to lose a lot of that color. So you really want definition right there. So I'm going to use this number 76. It's like a pot liner, and this is from Inglot. It just looks like that, just a little white. And if it gets kind of dry, there's actually this stuff that I bought. It's called Duraline. It's like an oil dropper, and you can drop it in there, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to pick it up with the Morphe M224, which is like a concealer brush. And I'm going to cut my crease. So we're going to really just get right there. Like I showed you that little trick right here. I guess I could do that right now as well. Put it on your lash line and look up to where it transfers, and then you can just start right there. That's where you want it. This is just like a highly pigmented liner, so it basically does the same concept of a concealer. I haven't picked up any more product. I'm just kind of smearing around what I already had there. And then I'm going to pick up just a little bit more and kind of continue this little line right here to kind of swoop it out to make it a little bit more defined on the outside. See that? I'm gonna like go back with that dark shade that I used the last color, that real dark purple. I'm gonna just kind of put that color back in where I cut it out. So I'm going back to that little brush, and I'm going to just go right super softly along that edge and just bring that color back just so that definition's there. So just kind of take your time and just kind of, and I think that's the difference of cutting it with a concealer or liner as opposed to doing it with a Q-tip, because you can, like with a makeup wipe, you could just literally get a real clean cut, but I just don't like to do that. I don't mind going back and just kind of touching up, you know, where I need it. Okay. So now I'm going to take that same dark shade and go right at the lash line and create like a little line. Kind of connecting it to that other side. Okay, so I just made a liner with the shadow, and then I'm just going to go back over with those other colors that I used. I'm going to use that like little berry color right over that. Just kind of bring it into the outside and kind of bring it out again. And then I'm going to go back with a little bit bigger of a brush and use that very first color that we used, that brown, and just kind of transition it right here, just so it's all kind of faded together. Okay, so for the pretty fun color, I'm going to use this pretty pink right here. It's like a baby pink. The color is called Here For It. I'm just going to use like a flat brush. I'll use my MAC 232. This used to be my favorite brush before I had start using other brushes. I never did my makeup without the MAC 232 or the 242, but now so many other brushes that I change it around a little bit. Look at how pretty that is. It's like nice and shimmery on its own. But I'm going to put even more shimmer on it because that's what I did with my other look that I did. But I want like real shimmer coming through. So that's already super shimmery already, right? But I'm gonna put a little bit more. Okay. So the next thing I'm gonna use is this really pretty, I have these glitters that I transferred into these little MAC pots. They don't make these anymore, these little MAC pots, but I have so many little glitters in here. And this is a color, this is a pigment called Kitchmas. It's a really pretty pink. Let me dab it on my finger and see if you can see it. So it's just like a pink. So I'm going to take, I had it on my finger, I'm just going to pat it on my finger. Right there in the center. Just give me a little bit more. I'm taking it right off the lid because the cap is like, I hate wasting, so just patting it on. It's weird. Again, I'm going to talk about my lighting because in person it looks way more purpley and here it looks more pinky. Like everything looks really pink, but it's not. It's definitely more purpley. So there's when you play with light, right? Okay. So I'm gonna leave it like that for now. I'm gonna do my face. I haven't really done a full face on camera for a while, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Because I've always just been like, I'll come back with my face done and then, you know, I'm gonna use the Nars All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and just to shake well. And my color is, it's called Santa Fe. So I'm just gonna squirt it onto my tray. I have like a little makeup tray here. And I did put a little bit of the, I have a little mini of the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of that right where my pores are kind of bigger. I'm so dry that I really don't need a primer because my makeup never slides off. I'm so dry, but I definitely need it to smooth out the pores. And then I've already done my forehead because I did my brows earlier, so if you can see, my forehead's a little darker, and that's because I'm wearing foundation already. So what I've been using on my forehead, just speaking of primer, this is a Radiance serum from Exuviance. This has been helping me. Like, I haven't had Botox. I've only done Botox once in my life, and that was already over a year ago. And they've come back, obviously, my wrinkles, but I feel like this shit's working because it's smoothed out my lines a lot. So I put this just in little goes on, like literally I do a little touch and just put it on my forehead, and I put this before my foundation. That's all I use on my forehead. I guess I could use a little bit. I mean, this is, like I said, it's so potent. It's more for lines, and I haven't been using it on my face because I only do my eyes now for when I go to work. I only do the top portion, so I do my forehead all the time, but I haven't been putting it down here because I don't want to waste it. But I guess I can do it right here, like where I have my smile lines, because it is. So I put the Tatcha here because it's for pores, and this one's actually for lines and wrinkles, a serum. So I'm going to do that right here. So I'm going to pick up my foundation with the Smashbox blurring foundation brush and just dab it into my makeup, and then just start patting it on. I love this foundation. Okay, so I'm back. My camera cut off because I didn't have enough storage in there because I forgot to delete my old video off my card. So I haven't done anything. I'm just still doing the foundation. So I guess we're done with that. So the next thing I do is, because now I have no dimension to my face at all, I'm going to go ahead and contour with my, I'll use my Smashbox. This is the Studio Skin Shaping Foundation. There's actually a foundation on one side and like the contour on the other. And I'm going to just pick it up right here and just go right along my cheekbones. Just give myself back some dimension. And take a little bit on my chin because I have a long chin. I know this doesn't look like really blended on the outside, but that's because I'm going to come back to it. So I know that you're probably, I'm looking at it at my monitor, it's bothering me, but I'm coming back to it, so don't worry about it. I'm just going to get all this done. So I'm just kind of going right on my face to bring back some shape. And then go back with your beauty sponge and just kind of melt it into your skin. You can do the same thing for your nose. Take the same, but I use a smaller little brush and just go down your nose. Now we will go into concealer, and I'm going to use my heavy duty SX06 from Kevyn Aucoin. So I'm going to dip into my concealer brush. This one is like I said, this is some heavy duty concealer, so I don't even need to use my brightener for this one because this is so heavy. So do you see I just put a little dab? That was one, I only dipped into it once, and it's got both eyes. I can bring it down the side of my nose. Like, this is just so thick. So you really just have to make sure you blend this out really good. Bring it down the center of my nose. And then pick a little bit. I'm like picking up more from where I already have it and bringing it onto my forehead. Like that is just a lot of concealer that comes out of this little thing. I take my little Aqua Pure. I always keep this. I have one in my car, one in my bag, one on my makeup station. I love this stuff. So now you can see I have all that. Beauty blender. Blend it out. So I'll do the same thing on the other eye. Okay, nose. Okay. So, do you see that was just like just a little goes a long way on that thing. Now I'm gonna take my trusty Charlotte Tilbury, still like hit pan, but it's not gone yet. I haven't got a new one because unfortunately Charlotte Tilbury is expensive. So I usually like have something backup, but I haven't got a new one until I literally don't have any. I have plenty of product on here. I only use this for underneath my eyes just to set my concealer. I think I've said it before, I don't like to go straight into baking powder until I've already set this, because then it just goes on really smooth. So I just smooth that out, and then I go with baking powder to set the rest. So because we're going to put a lot of product underneath, I definitely need to bake under there so it doesn't get everywhere. So I usually use my little sponge for this, but I ordered this little pack of sponges off Amazon. So I just put it back in the package, but just a little powder puff. And I have the old school Airspun Coty loose powder. So I'm gonna just dip my powder puff into there, and then I'm just gonna go and set under the eyes, side of the nose, and this is basically just going to catch all the fallout if I have any from my shadow. And I haven't contoured yet with my bronzer, but that's okay. You could do it. You could still, since I already have contour color. I'm gonna go right under that, and then I'll just let this bake, and I'll go with my bronzer after that, around that, like right in there. I can go right in there. I'm just gonna let it sit while I do my eyes. This time I'm gonna use a little bit different. I'm gonna use a little bit of a brighter color on the bottom, just because I did that on my, and what I'm referring to is, yes, another TikTok that I did, and my sister was like, oh my god, how did you do your eyes? So I just told her I would do it as a YouTube video, because this makes it so much easier for me. Instead of explaining it, I could just show her. Take a little fluffy brush. This is a Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH37. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this pink right here, and this is gonna go right underneath my eye. I'm just gonna blend that down. And then I'm gonna go back with a little bit smaller of a brush. I'm just gonna pick up that same brush that we used with the purple. So next I'm gonna use this little bright purple down here underneath my eye. So I want it to be a little bit brighter, but purple down at the bottom. Go back and blend it with that pink again. And then I'm going to take the smallest little brush, like this. I'm going to dip it into that darkest color that we used in our crease, just next to the lash line. And this one, this is where I told you I'm going to clean up the outside. So I'm going down, and I'm going to bring it up to kind of meet right there, just to kind of clean up that outside a little bit, to make it a little bit more uniform. I'm going to use a liner. So I'm going to do just a black liner. This one's from Inglot 01, just black. So I'm going to take that same dark purple, and just kind of blend them together. Kind of bring down that black into the lash line with that purple. And then same thing, just go back over everything you've done. That brighter purple and the pink. I'm gonna do a little bit of a winged liner, Ciaté liquid liner. And then instead of just leaving it like that, where it's just like a harsh line, I'm gonna go over with that real pretty bright purple and just kind of set that liner. So I can just take my little small teeny brush, go over with that vivid bright purple, just to kind of intensify that lash line with purple as opposed to just a harsh black. So do you see the difference of the purple as opposed to just having it black? So next I'm going to put on some bronzer. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer in number 3. And I just use my big powder brush from Jaclyn Hill Morphe and go right in between those powders, because then it's already kind of cut it for you, because you've got that. So once you brush it away, it'll already be cleaned up for you. Take this little buffing brush right here and then just kind of blend that together, so then it takes away that baking powder and my bronzer is kind of blended together. I'm wearing like purples. I'm gonna wear like a peachy kind of colors. So I'm gonna take, this is like an already made MAC palette. I have this color called Cantaloupe. It looks very nude, but it's more like a peachy kind of color. For my highlight, I'll use the Hyper Real Glow from MAC. Use the color called Flash and Awe. For lashes, I'm going to use the Tati lashes in the style TL6. So while my lashes are drying, I'm going to do my lips. So I'm going to use the Kylie lip liner in the color Kylie. And then I'm going to use the color from Kylie Cosmetics as well, Money Mindset. I think this was from her birthday collection. And the only reason I'm using this is because I love purpley colors with like nudes or like corals. And then I do want to add a little gloss, so I'll just stick with Kylie and use the 1 in a billion gloss. Now I mean I haven't bought Kylie Cosmetics in a long time. I think the birthday collection was the last time I ever bought it. I like it, I just haven't bought it. So my lashes should be dry now, so let me put those on. I'll be right back. So here's the look with the lashes on. The lashes obviously makes it look amazing. I love this look. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go do my hair. I think I'm gonna curl it because I wore it straight yesterday. So I think I'm gonna curl it today. So I will be right back with the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I just curled my hair. You know, I kind of wish I would have looked at my other purple video before I did this one. I know it's a totally different color palette because I've never used that Morphe palette on camera. So whether it be almost the same kind of look, it's definitely different colors, because I think that other purple one I used the Makeup Geek Matrix palette, so they're totally different colors, but maybe it might be very similar. But I really like this look the better because I love the cut crease kind of look. So hopefully you guys like it. Anyways, I will definitely try to do some more videos soon, but I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.